Free at YMCA calendar raffle. Each calendar raffle purchase will provide participants 66 chances to win. A $125 winner drawn each week on Fridays, a $250 winner drawn on the third Wednesday of each month, and a $500 winner drawn on January 2nd, 2024. All YMCA memberships are a 12-month commitment. The Y for youth development, healthy living, and social responsibility.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into the WTIM information station. My name is Tim Zalabak. Time now for the morning show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark of Taylorville. I got Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith in the studio with me today, a couple of master gardeners, and I'm very excited to have you both in with me. Thank you.
Thanks for asking us.
Absolutely. Thank you both for being in with me today. And master gardeners, of course, always busy. We're nearing the end of summer. Let's get right into it because you guys got a big event coming up here. It's a tree walk, and it's at the I'm going to say it wrong, the Cahilas Arboretum. Did I get it right? Cahillas Arboretum. Tell me about this.
It's a 75-acre arboretum that is east of Pana on Route 16. And Linda was a master gardener many, many years ago, has had garden walks there, and this is our second tree walk. And her goal is to provide trees that grow in this area that may have done well, may not have done well. And Gwen's going to lead people on a tour that afternoon of several of the trees and give people a chance to ask questions about what do I plant in central Illinois that's going to last.
This has been something we've been talking about for a while, I feel. Gwen,
right.
What does this mean? And what's this day going to look like?
Well, it's hopefully last year was a lovely afternoon. The trees should be getting close to peak color or right around peak color. And they'll just have a chance to see trees that are not your average maple tree or oak tree. These are things that maybe you might consider if you're wanting to add to your house and you're wanting to add something that does well in this area, or you're wanting something with a little bit of a different. I know we talked about this at the Master Gardener Conference that I was just at, and people were carrying on the bus about this tree and they couldn't remember the name. Well, it turned out it was the Seven Sons tree, which is one of the great, it's got interesting bark. It's got beautiful color. It's just a gorgeous tree. So they'll get to see things like that. Kentucky coffee tree. That's the one in my mind that sticks out from last year. That Kentucky coffee tree. I was just like, oh, can I just pick that up and take it home with me? That's the sad thing is we need to have an adopt a tree. And speaking of that, maybe we can, if we turn this into a tradition, which it seems like we're going to. I also visited the Mason State Tree Nursery. It's the only tree nursery left in the state of Illinois that is run by IDNR. And we were given a tour of that. And they sell seedlings in bundles of 25 or bundles of 100. So you have to have a lot, but it would be wonderful next year to perhaps get some of those and have them available. This year they were growing swamp white oaks, red oaks, and walnuts, black walnuts. And I'm telling you, they say they sell out every year. They change their hardwoods around. They do have some shrubs, but it was a fascinating tour of the facility and of how they also sell seeds and potted native plants. And it's, you can't believe the machinery. I've worked in industry as a college student, and I was just amazed at how they've got these machines that they send these seeds through and they shake it down and separate out the chaff. And it was incredible. It was an incredible facility. Yeah. But anyway, I'd hope we could maybe put some of that into this next year, because, this is exactly the kind of thing that they're usually looking for clients to sell those trees to. They sell a lot of
and
grants.
Being the end of October, you still have time to get that tree established in the fall.
You certainly do. You certainly have plenty of time to get the trees established. This is the best time, really, because they don't have to put a lot of energy into the whole chlorophyll making process. So they are able to get their roots established, and then next spring be fine. And if you keep them watered, like Linda said, plant them now, keep them watered well until hard freeze, you can get those done. But anyway, I think people will enjoy this. It's a lovely place. I'm sure we'll have great desserts, great cookies and brownies and things. You're welcome, Linda. So anyway, but I'm sure we'll have great time.
And it's 2 to 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, yeah, that's
And,
kind of where I was going next.
yes.
And they do need to register at go.illinois.edu/Christian Tree Walk. Or they can call 217-287-7246
Beautiful.
to register for that by October 19th.
Has to be by October 19th. When is the actual day of the walk?
October 21st.
Okay, so
It's going to be a Saturday, October 21st, like Linda said, from 2 to 4, so that they'll have, kind of prime time.
Mhm.
yeah, you said this is
Yeah.
prime color season for the trees. I mean, that's
should be
going to be, yeah,
should
We're
be
getting
pretty
near there.
close, right? We should be not too far off from that.
All right, that sounds really awesome. I got to believe that the colors changing is got to be one of the biggest takeaways from that day, right?
Right. And I mean, Linda planted, pardon me, 25 sunset maples and years ago. And so the lane up to her house is just incredible that time of year.
Yeah, and it's an incredible drive up. You see the house and grounds from the highway as you pull in, and it's just gorgeous. I don't know if you've ever been to UIS campus, but they have a similar thing of
Mhm.
they're either hard maples or red sunsets, and but it's a similar. There's nothing quite like driving under all that color.
Right. It's amazing.
Mhm.
You don't need to be a master gardener to appreciate that type
No.
of beauty.
True.
I would think not.
Not
I
at
would
all.
think not. No.
And for people that want to enjoy this great experience, you don't have to be, so agriculturally minded. You don't need to know everything about gardening. There'll be tours.
Right.
I mean, you'll be shown
Right,
everything.
right. And the nice thing about Linda's place too is it's not a micro. It's not a a monoculture. She doesn't just have trees. Many of the perennials we get for our plant sale are dug at her house. She's got beautiful, and we don't leave big holes, so they don't fall in
Right.
any holes, I don't think. But anyway, you will also get a chance to see the trees in situ, incorporated into landscaping.
Wow.
So that's nice
So
too.
amazing. So not just trees that are going to be there. I mean, it's going to be really just a
Mhm.
whole grouping of different
Right.
things. And you're not able to see these just on your normal everyday walk
That's
outside your
right.
home.
Right. And as my neighbor said to me yesterday, I bet that you're really sad about this time of the year. And I said, well, why? I've always got things going on. Gardens like Linda's always have something that you can appreciate. Even the dead of winter doesn't
Right.
stop a garden completely.
Yeah, I
And
wondered
if
about
it does,
that.
there's always quilting.
Sure. There you go.
That's
We'll
right.
Move right
That's
along
right.
with quilting. Okay. That's the second hobby of our master gardeners.
Well, you know what? That's a funny thing. You should say that because that's another thing I heard at the conference, that gardening is like quilting, like making quilt tops, because you're making I thought that was an interesting
Interesting.
observation.
Designing along the way. Right.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
but
Okay. I like the link there between quilting and gardening. Yes, I do see that. And when the winter time comes around, maybe make a garden quilt or something.
There we go.
That'd be kinda
There you
cool.
go.
All right.
There
Bring it
you
into the WTIM information station. I'll put it around my shoulders while we do this. That'll be fun. But no, okay, a great Arboretum walk coming up here. And this sounds very exciting. It's become a tradition. How many years have you guys been doing this?
this is
Just two.
Okay.
but we like it, and I think Linda really loves having us there. I think she was so overwhelmed last year, seemed to be,
Yeah.
by the interest and the enjoyment people got from it.
Well, when you have a property like that, it'd be really great to have local community members or anyone come out and just see the grounds and just
Exactly.
experience it.
Exactly.
What's one thing that you hope people can take away from this that have no idea about a tree walk or nothing about this?
Lots of things you can you can learn, like we talked about the varieties that will do well in this area, and you can also what kind of care do they need. What do I have to do to take care of this tree that's going to get 50 feet tall? Pruning, what do I do in the spring? Do I do anything to take care of this? And one of the things Gwen mentioned about those being able to have bundles of trees available for people is that IDNR, as well as Linda, she's always looking for new trees to plant down there. She's got like 10 new trees this year that were not there last year. Of course, they're going to take time to grow and do their thing. And of course, we'll probably talk about drought conditions too, because we're still in the middle of that now, and what that does to trees and how you have to care for new plantings and those kinds of things. If they got them last spring, they should have been able to get an inch of water a week on them. And sometimes that doesn't happen. And then you wonder, why did it die? I must not have got a good stock. So,
right. And I talked to somebody not too long ago who said, oh, well, they put things in and then they kind of forget to water it. And I said, that's the problem. The first year or two, and especially if it includes a year like this, you really need to be paying attention to and continuing to sort of help that tree along. And trees, I think, are especially important. That you just going to, it's just like you raise up a child.
Sure.
That care, that's what you got to think about. That's a baby. And you got to take care of it like a baby.
Absolutely.
For at least a year or two.
right.
An opportunity to learn all of these things at the Cahayas Arboretum, and that's going to be October 21st. And this is the Great Tree Walk. Registration will be online at goillinois.com. You must do so by the 19th of October. All right, that's all right there.
And I think that's Thursday, but yeah.
Thursday. All right, perfect. Plenty of time here to register for this amazing tree walk here. We're going to take our short little break here on the WTIM morning show. I have Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith, a couple of master gardeners in the studio with me right now. Don't go anywhere. We got some cool things to talk about right after the break. You are listening to the WTIM information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Hi, this is Jeff Robinson with Advanced Title Group Incorporated in Taylorville. We are Christian County's only locally owned title company with over 100 years of title experience in our office. Whether you are selling, buying, building, or refinancing your home, farm, business, or land, choose Advanced Title Group. Visit us at advancedtitlegroup.com. Stop in on the northwest corner of the Taylorville Square or call 824-8007. Advanced Title Group, excellence with integrity and experience.
Helping you hear and understand. That's the goal of my hearing aid business, Specialized Hearing Solutions in Taylorville and Shelbyville. Hi, I'm Crystal Baker. After over a decade in the health and hearing care field, I've opened my business to provide hearing aids at competitive prices while still providing the highest level of personalized service to my patients. Let's schedule a complimentary hearing consultation to see how I can be your path to better hearing. Call me, Crystal Baker, at 824-0411. Specialized Hearing Solutions. I'm all about helping you here.
Is your current financial advisor really listening to you or just waiting for his turn to talk? Hi, I'm Brad Davis, your Taylorville Edward Jones financial advisor, and I'm here ready to listen. I want to know what's important to you. I want to learn about your goals so that together we can put you on the financial path that's right for you. Call me at 217-287-2663 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Bill Pinkston, General Sales Manager at Landmark of Taylorville. We finally have a great selection of new inventory, and to celebrate, we are offering 2.9 financing on select models. Plus, we are offering a $1,000 trade assistant program to customers with a 2010 or newer trade-in on all new inventory. We want your vehicle. I will buy your trade even if you don't buy from us. Stop by Landmark of Taylorville today and visit my professional sales staff about our Landmark for a lifetime warranty, and drive that new vehicle home today that you've been waiting for. And remember,
the kids are back in school. Summer is winding down. It's time to close your pool for the season. It's time to call Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville. Get on the list now. It's filling up fast. They have everything you need to clean and protect your pool during the winter months. Stop by Southern Ledge Pools and Patios today during their end of summer blowout and get anything in store 15% off. Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville, your outdoor fun creator.
This is Jenny Turvey, manager of Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville. To learn more about our apartments, click on our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Jansen's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
welcome welcome back to the WTIM Information Station. My name is Tim Zalabak. This is the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, People's Bank and Trust and Landmark in Taylorville. I got the Master Gardeners in the studio with me right now. I have Gwen Podesky and Linda Smith. We were talking about the Cahias Arboretum Tree Walk. That's going to be coming to you October 21st from the Cahias Arboretum there. Registration must be turned in by October 19th. I want to say that
and
right.
They can register online or call 217-287-7246.
Beautiful. And that's just going to be a full day of amazing views and education. It's going to be a really cool day there. Any more words about the tree walk?
Just come if you
come if you're interested in trees or just want a fun day out with the kids. We're
and it will
perfectly
happen
happy to
rain
have
or
children.
shine. So don't worry
Yeah,
about
we do have like a barn out there that we
Right.
can sort of
Take
gathering.
refuge,
take
Right.
refuge under
Very
our
cool.
big trees.
All right. Awesome. That'll be October 21st, and we're very excited about that tree walk. Let's get into some more gardening news here because there's some problems going on with the boxwood. What's going on with the
Right.
boxwood?
Well, both Gwen and I have been dealing with clients in the past couple of weeks that have had issues with boxwood, and probably they didn't see it until the plant was brown. And this is something that our horticulture educators sent us some information on. If you have boxwoods that have been in the ground for over 5 years, not to worry. But anything that was purchased in the last 5 years and put in the ground is probably harboring somewhere in it this fungus that tends to take over the plant. And if you're not careful when you're clipping out those dead parts when you see them and moving from plant to plant, if you're not disinfecting, you're transplanting that bacteria, that fungus from one plant to the other, and then it causes havoc with everything you've got.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that, well, the fortunate thing is they were able to finally breed boxwoods that thrive in our climate. The unfortunate thing is when you do that, you're usually bringing in strains from other areas and things, and some of these bring with them much of the like Linda said, the fungus and the other problems. So we've got a couple. There's an older one called Volutella blight, which I had never heard of until Andrew pointed it out to me. That has usually that's just like limbs on the tree, and then it will increase until most of the shrub is dead. But then the boxwood blight, that is basically the real big concern, is a little bit more aggressive, I think. And it sounds like one of the clients was Linda's, and it sounds like that might be more likely.
Right.
The ones I saw were much less affected, but this sounds and there are. It's a matter of, Linda mentioned disinfecting tools, and it sounds really, especially if you're doing things like I have 11 boxwoods by my house, and I have to take a hedge trimmer to those. I have hand trimmed them, but that's not a lot of fun.
They're big. Yeah.
They're big.
Yes.
And but anytime you get those, you've got to disinfect between every cut usually, and that's a lot of work. You can use rubbing alcohol, you can use a 10 water to 1 part bleach solution and dip the tools in that also, but it's
tedious,
pretty labor intensive.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't think about it. If you don't know about it, you don't think about it. And if you're out there and you think, oh my gosh, I forgot to do this, by that time the damage has been done.
Because we mentioned this too a few months back when the other thing that has been really bad this year have been on a lot of the decorative pears, flowering crabs, flowering cherries, have been this fire blight. And that's another thing that you can cut those back. If you have a mild infestation, you can cut it back. But again, sterilizing the tools between every cut.
Right.
So it's a lot of work.
Even though it's a lot of work, I mean, that fungus really just spreads any way it can. And by the clippers, that if it's only done by the clippers, that's the way it's going to be done.
And you can spray as a preventative, and basically as a preventative, Daconil, some of these chemicals that are specifically for fungicides. But if you talk to farmers today, and if you talk to, master gardeners and other people, we raise asparagus. until 10 years ago, there were not fungus problems. You didn't have that. Farmers are beginning to realize that the wind is carrying in these things that they haven't had to deal with before. And it means more expense, more labor, and all of that.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you risk yield and everything else.
And you can't wait.
Right.
You can't wait
Right.
until you see it. You have to do it preventatively. So
Right.
if I would say if you have boxwoods that have been purchased in the last 5 years,
Beautiful. Yeah.
get some fungicide
Yep.
that are listed for boxwoods.
And get it
And
taken
that
care of.
specifically, yes.
All right. My master gardeners, thank you guys so much for being in the studio with me today. We are out of time.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We learned about the Cahayas Arboretum walk coming to us the 21st, and we learned about some boxwood stuff there. Thank you guys so much for coming in. This has been the WTIM Morning Show.
Your information station, WTIM.
Remembering those who were lost on 9/11. That's what people are doing all across the country today, including at Ground Zero in New York, this 22nd anniversary of the terror.